Hey guys, and welcome to 2026's Game Room Tour. 2026 was a pretty big year for both the Game Room and the PC Room. They both had their little makeovers, and by that I mean they're very different compared to last year's tours. I didn't give full tours of either of them after their makeovers just because I knew I'd be wanting to do this come January, and January it is. So, like I said, I've already done a completely separate tour for the PC room, so if you want to watch that, it's on my channel. But today is all about our game room. So, I think what we're going to do is start over here and work our way around. And that, of course, means we are starting with my husband's Bionicle collection. Admittedly, I feel like I need to have him on this channel just to do a full, tour of his whole collection because, of course, he knows a lot more about it. We do have regular Legos over here for now too, but of course he knows more about it than I do, but I'll kind of go shelf to shelf here because every video that these are in, they get a lot of comments, so I feel like there are a lot of Bionicle fans in this space, so I'm casting a shadow on them. That's no good, but yeah. There's a couple little odds and ends, like I said, on here that probably won't be staying here, but they're here at the moment, so here they are. But yeah, lots more room to grow on this shelf setup as compared to, what we had going on last year. So, I also picked up this cute little chair combo so that I could use it, pull it up for my CRT, though this couch does expand, so I can kind of just sit there too. And I have, some wireless controllers, but, useful to have still. And then I have a couple of our sword boxes back there. You can see the box for Frostmourne because it has really cool art, so it's in the front. Above the big glass door, we have some Luma Perlers. There's a lot of Perlers in this game room, so we'll be seeing a lot of those. We have our little cheap Walmart lamp here. We had it, we bought it when we moved into our apartment. It has shelves on it. It's useful. Sure, it's just plastic, but it'll do the job, so it is here. We have this little Luigi holding our controllers, which is so cute. Little Pachamari and a box to kind of try to hide the wire. Then over here, we have something I feel like I should have turned on our dining room light for. Maybe this will help with the lighting? Just a little. We have this little cube shelf with some of our Pokemon plush on it. This probably isn't going to be staying here. Ideally, I'd like to have a little table that's like a bar table, with bar stools, so that whenever we have friends over, we can kind of double-decker the couch and play games here, because this usually isn't enough space. Over here, we have something I'd very much like to work on. This is our little arts and crafts area. We like hanging out, so when one of us is playing games or watching something and the other wants to work on something, it's nice to have a space for that, but this art desk is kind of inconvenient. This chair sucks. We need another shelf here for some storage, because as you can see, things are starting to sit on top, so we recently got into alcohol markers. That's been really fun. So those are just having to sit here. We have Ryder's airbrush and some of his miniatures and our colored pencils. It's it just isn't enough room. So we think we're gonna have a separate mini painting place in our D&D room, and then have everything else hopefully better stored once we have more space to work with over here. So moving right along, we have our game shelf. My pride and joy. It is so nice to have pretty much all of my collection in one space now. Oh, I did forget to mention we have this little Pokemon thing. This is a cutout into our kitchen. So I don't know, I put that up there. It fits, so it's there. Along the top we have some of our console boxes. I have some of the more retro ones in the PC room, kind of on display on the shelves, but yeah, nice to have a spot specific for our console boxes because I like trying to keep them. God, they take up a lot of room. We have another pride and joy, my Hermaeus Mora statue. Just some bits and bobs, big, display box, my Skyrim Iron Helmet. And then down here we have my Xbox shelf. You will notice my main, physical games collection is Nintendo. I'm a fantasy game fan and I'm a Nintendo fan, so I'm not gonna name off every single game in this game room tour because I don't want it to be like 50 years long. Not that I have that many games, to be fair, but most of the Xbox collection is mine. Some of them are Ryder's. I was more into Xbox, he was more into PlayStation. Of course, we're both just kind of PC now, but we do have at least a Series X. I wish we had a PS5, but I have some of my favorites throughout the shelves. Forward-facing, of course, we had to have Oblivion. One of, if not my favorite game of all time. Morrowind and Skyrim are, of course, great too. This is my Skyrim tarot deck, and then this is some playing cards that UESP made for their Patreon last year. Thought that was cool. They gave us a few packs, so this one's still sealed. A few little figures, and then some clay figures, which this one broke. It's so sad. I made of Cicero from Skyrim and my Skyrim character a long time ago. They're kind of wonky, but they're cute. And then here we have some Funkos and my little... Gosh, I don't even know what line these are, but they're the vintage Pokemon little figures from the early 2000s. These were my childhood toys, so, you know, some of them are kind of grubby, but it's cool to still have them. And then this one just came with my copy of Moon. But yeah, for the Funkos, we of course have World of Warcraft, some Elder Scrolls, League of Legends, Overwatch, yeah, no, Destiny. We're not big into Funkos, but that's like the sort of thing you tend to get at like the gifts for work parties and whatnot, so we have them. Down here we have the beginning of our PlayStation collection. We have this little Sackboy plush, which is so cute. Ryder is a very big Little Big Planet fan, and he got me into it because, of course, I didn't grow up with a PlayStation. I had a PS2, but I didn't really have any games for it, so... But yeah, this came with one of the collector's editions, and it's so cute. Then we have my Dragonstone from Skyrim, which is trying to fall off its base. I need to move it anyway, but yeah. Pretty cool. Sorry about my nails, by the way. It's been a busy week. Eternally. Fun fact, also, I'm needing to record this, like, real quick, so if things are a little... I try my best to clean everything up, but we're about to redo our bedroom, and I need to be able to move stuff in here, so... Hence the no time part of it. But yeah, anyway, here are... We have a couple or a few PlayStation 2 games. We don't have a PS2 currently. We do have a PS3. So, like I said, most of these were his games. A few of them I picked up at Goodwill. And then in here we have some PSP games. Little Sackboy bookend, so cute. And then we have our Deathwing and Alduin Funkos. A couple of my favorite that exist right there. And then down here we have our PS4 collection, which Ryder bought our PS4, which we will get to later, around the time we started dating. So this collection's like particularly sentimental because we kind of grew it together, which is nice. Of course, I have my big box Skyrim. This is like a thing from ESO that I got whenever I'd ordered something from Bethesda Gear. They just sent that for free. This is one of the UESP yearly coins. It is so pretty. But yeah, that's last year's coin. And then we'll just get another good little pan of all the games. Like I said, kind of a mix between his and mine. These two I still need to play. I bought those like whenever the pandemic was starting up because I knew I'd be bunkering down, but then I never got to them anyway. Isn't that sad? And Yakuza 0 here is a recent obsession of both of ours. Highly recommend. I said I wasn't going to point out specific games, but here we are. Then we have like this, I think it's a cross stitch. I think that's what it's called, an embroidery? I'm pretty sure that's cross stitch that my friend made for me. And then down here, I just have some cool box storage that I just could not bring myself to throw away. I've been trying to cull the boxes, but it's so hard. And then we have my little galaxy projector right here, which I'm sure you saw in the footage of how everything looks lit up at night. Up here we have a large part of my amiibo collection. This shelf definitely needs to be redone. I might move it down so that you can see them better, but I definitely need better risers. These were just some of the risers left over from Ryder's Bionicle collection. I still need to get some specifically for my shelves. I need a lot of risers and game stands and console stands and all of that, but Yep, this is most of my collection right here. This one is one of my favorites, of course. The channel namesake. And then down here is my GameCube shelf with my collection of vintage Pokemon plush. Most of these are from my childhood, these two aren't. I had to have him, and my husband was sweet and got him for me too, and I love him. But yes, these are my beloved childhood Pikachus, which you'll see more of in a second too. But then I have a few of my favorite games for the GameCube back here, but you can't really see them. You can at least see the titles, that's good enough. I need to get like more actual shelves on here because there's definitely some wasted space. And it would allow me to do less of, you know, this. I have a couple of my game guides here. And then I already did a video over my whole GameCube game collection, though there is one new one as of right now. But I will go ahead and show them all off anyway. I grew up with the GameCube, so most of these were from my childhood. Some of them I'm definitely like missing some classics. Like this was a classic I was missing. I didn't have Pikmin 1 and 2. I picked this up within the last year. Maybe over a year? I don't know. But and then a few of these I got at Goodwill, but most of them were from my childhood. Speaking of which, we also have more Pokemon figurines that I had. And then we have... Oh, I know the shadows are bad. I'm trying. We have my new NES amiibo. This is a recent addition. I got into Earthbound last spring, and it completely took over my brain. My friend got me this for Christmas, and we have this little Olimar that I thrifted somehow. Still can't get over finding him. Then down here we have my DS 3DS shelf, which is another, like, it's kind of a mess. I definitely still want to tinker with my shelves a little bit more, but like I said, I want to get more shelves so that like these can be like just taking up their own little shelf. You get it. Me and Ryder both had a DS and 3DSs, though we did sell off most of our duplicates. We kept both of our diamond versions, but yeah, this is a blend of both of our games, and then some unfortunately don't have cases, and I need to fix that. I realized I should probably explain. I had that Mario phone whenever I was a kid, except it got destroyed because I was a wrecking ball child, and for some reason all I have from it is his head, and I also have this, like, Happy Meal toy that came with a tennis ball, which I'm also missing, and since I've been in, like, middle school, this is just how those have been oriented, because, you know, it works. But he's supposed to, like, throw a ball up, I don't know. It's just disturbing all around. Little Turtwig and a Pokewalker. My New Leaf guide, which New Leaf is my favorite, well, Animal Crossing game and 3DS game. My tiny Hamlet shrine. Both of these my friend got for me, very thankful. I love Hamlet. Oh, this little Blathers is another gift from a different friend. Little Animal Crossing Lego set, a burler of Hamlet that I made. My Isabelle Nindoroid, and then we have a little Goomy. He's still in his box because we just thought the box looked cool. And we were always like contemplating taking him out, but we still never have. But Goomy is Ryder's favorite Pokemon. We have a loose copy of Kid Icarus Uprising. I need to get the box. Especially, it's kind of expensive. But yeah, here's our 3DS games. Just have a few little figures in front. But we will scroll on through what we have. I will probably do full videos on, at least on my Nintendo collections at some point. I don't know if I'll do PlayStation, Xbox. My dehumidifier just kicked on. Let me turn it off. I have that thing set to where it shouldn't go above 50% humidity, and it kicked on at 42 just to spite me. But yeah, these will get dedicated videos at some point, I am sure. It's also been one of my goals lately to work more on my game collection instead of my game figurine and plushie collection, which you can tell I am also a huge fan on. So hopefully all of these collections, especially the Nintendo stuff, will be growing more soon. But below that, we have, once again, more empty space that I just feel like more shelves would greatly benefit me. But we have my Luigi, mostly. It also has some Yoshi and Boo. Luigi is one of my favorite characters, and I really like collecting things of him. So, I made a shrine to him. And then below that, we have my Wii games. A couple more figurines. I just crocheted this Luma. I just got into crochet like within the past like couple of months. And I am so proud of him. Like, look how cute and stupid he is. I made this, like, oh my gosh. I adjusted the pattern that I found online because he was like too tall. So I kind of almost made this pattern too. Like, I'm so happy with him. Up here we have something very distressing behind this little toy Wiimote. That's a loose copy of Smash Bros. Brawl that needs a case still. Someday maybe I'll buy it, but yeah. Here's all of our Wii games. They are mostly mine. A few of them were Ryder's, but yeah. And then up here we have some Nintendo plush in this little box. And our Wii U games, which is very small. I got my Wii U as my graduation present from high school. Me and Ryder were dating at that point, so this is kind of another collection we grew together, but not nearly as exciting. It's just a little sad. I did just get this though, and I'm very excited to play that. Kind of forgot I got it. Oh my god. And then down here we just have a few more random collectibles. This Ash and these little Pokemon, like you can take this Pokeball off and like slot these on here and he like talks and everything. And my whole like childhood and like teenage years, he would just randomly, like he was in my closet and he would just randomly start talking. So I think he's cursed. He's finally shut up though, so that's good. Or bad, I'm not sure. But yeah, I came with all these little Pokemon. I love old Pokemon stuff. Like, they just don't make them like they used to. Let's go back up to the next shelf. We have my little buying GF thing. I am a RuneScape fan. There are a few RuneScape things about. And then we have my boxed NES games. I don't actually have the games themselves in here. They're down here because I don't like messing with the boxes. These were all games that my parents had bought and thus have been mine for a very long time. They were my childhood room, which, like I said, I was a wrecking ball. However, these and their Nintendo Power magazines, I kind of talked about it in my PC room tour, but it's like I recognized that these were kind of old, and so I had like this reverence for them, like, oh, I gotta make sure they're okay, they don't get squished, so most of them are at least in okay condition. Pretty happy that Kirby's Adventure survived as much as it did, since that was my favorite, but it's nice to have the Zelda 1 and 2 too. Ugh. Anyway, just a few more little figurines about, like I said, so many of these are from my childhood. I was and am a spoiled brat, apparently, but this one got drawn on too. Guess I wanted him to evolve. I don't know, but yeah, here we have my actual, well, my two SNES games. I actually didn't have a Super Nintendo growing up. I had like every other major Nintendo console except for it. My parents got into the NES, and then by the time me and my sister were alive, it was, you know, N64 GameCube days, so just kind of got skipped. And is it going to actually focus? There we go. There are my two games. These are like Pokemon marbles that I also had growing up, and these are weird Yoshis that I think you're meant to wear on your hand like that if I had a smaller hand, and play tag with him, and he plays a little tune. But he just looks kind of weird on my shelf. Anyway, we have a few more little figurines here, but I guess you did see most of the games. I have Kirby's Adventures in my NES right now, that's why there's a gap, but there are a few that I have that I don't have the box for, so show those off as well. It has been a long time since I bought an NES game, and I should probably fix that, but I kind of want to work more on the Super Nintendo collection. We have the Lego Piranha Plant that me and Ryder built for a date. So cute. I love this one. This little retro Koopa. And then unfortunately, this is how my N64 games are stored at the moment, if it will actually focus. But, not ideal. I'm hoping to get risers for these soon. And then here, I mentioned that you'd see more of my childhood Pikachu. I have a couple of pictures of me because I thought it'd be cute to eventually like make little perler frames or something. For them, because really this is who it's all for. Tiny me, and that Pikachu right there is that one. That's Pookie. I love Pookie. He was my favorite plushie growing up. This big one's also Pookie, but he has a long lost brother as well, and I don't know what happened to him. Please come home. And then slightly older, like I was really tall when I was like, yeah, I would have been 11 in this, almost 12 maybe. But this excited to be Luigi for Halloween, and it turned out great. I might be Luigi again this year. We shall see, but I'm thinking about it. Anyway, embarrassing childhood photos aside, down here we have one of my Kirby shelves. Well, I say one of. I mean, Kirby's all over the place, but this is a dedicated Kirby shelf. Here we have all the Nindoroids I have so far. I almost have all of them. The regular Kirby one got delayed. I'm really annoyed. And then they haven't done a re-release of Meta Knight or King DDD. Well, they have, but they need to do it again so I can get them. But this is one of those model kit Kirbys. We have the 30th anniversary. We have some of the boxes for the Kirby Friends figures because I just think they're so cute. So I re-glue them and stack them. Waddle Dee and Ice Kirby, both the Kirby Cafe Nindoroids. A little coin box. This is where I put my game funds in. Don't tell anybody. Planet Robobot Kirby. I'm so glad to have him. This little diorama my friend got for me. It's so cute. The Kirby Air Riders amiibo. I was so torn on getting these because they're so expensive, but Kirby Air Riders is like... Kirby Air Ride was my favorite Nintendo game. Now I think Air Riders is just my favorite game in general. I still need to get Bandana D because apparently my parents got this for me for Christmas, and I'm going down the rabbit hole, I think. They're so cute. Beam Kirby, and then this lights up. Oh, I actually do have it on. I figured it was off. Oh, it's a little touchy, but yeah, you slap it and it turns on, which is very cute. Not very bright since the lights are on, but I think that figure is so sweet. When I bought it, I thought it was a plug-in, like, full-on lamp. I got it for my bedside table, but it's just battery operated, so that would have been so cool though. Down here we have the Mario Kart phone that I repurchased as an adult because I was so sad that it got destroyed. He's missing his lightning bolt, but they pretty much all are, unless if you buy it in box, and mine was always missing it too, so. My childhood Pokédex and my ocarina. Then here we have most of my Game Boy games, or all of them? Yeah, this is all of them actually. I don't have very many. I did grow up with the GBA, but you know how it is. You just don't have a lot of games all the time when you're a kid, and that's fine. And then a lot of these I've also picked up kind of recently. I've been working on this collection a little bit more again lately. And then I have a giant Kirby. You can move his, like, he's posable anyway. Down here are my Switch games and my Switch 2 collection so far. We have these little figures and Ryder's Childhood Pokédex. But let me move these guys so I can actually show you all the games I have. I did a video over this as well, which everyone complains about the Switch spines. I'm also not a huge fan. It's kind of hard to read them, but hopefully you can. But yeah, I've gotten a lot of new games since I did that video, so might as well show them off. Not too many new games, but you know, a fair bit. And then unfortunately Violet is still loose. I need to buy its stupid case. I'm leaving it and Icarus there to annoy me into buying the case. It hasn't worked yet, but maybe soon. I should probably do it with the rest of my DS games and whatnot too. These I also, I didn't mention, I also desperately need to either make or like have someone 3D print a new stand for. My dad made this one for me and I've outgrown it. I think that was like the amount of Game Boy games I had. Well, I think a few of them I'd left in a case actually, because like Ryder had these. But anyway, I think maybe I'll use that for my little Pokemon figures or something if they'll fit, and then 3D print some better Game Boy standees, because they always fall off of this. It's really annoying. We have some of my favorite Switch games right here, front and center. And then we have Super Mario RPG there too, but you'll notice it's in a black case. That is because it is a GameStop store display case. I don't actually have this game, but there we go. A couple more game guides there. And then here's almost all of my Switch 2 games at the moment. Air Riders is over there. I'm glad that there's colorful spines now. And then down here we have a little blooper, another one of the little Big Planet standees, and all of my game guides. Or just like, I mean, I guess not all of my game-related books. I do have more game-related books, a lot more in the front room, but they're not all necessarily guides. There's like the Pokemon handbook. I think there's like a How to Draw Nintendo, you know, just books like that are here. My novels and big hardcover books are in my actual living room. And then over to the side here, we have my Kirby plush backpack, my New Horizons pre-order bonus poster, and then we have some of the perlers I have made over here. Didn't really have, you know, a better spot for them, so they're there. And then we are moving on to the wall with my TV on it. So we'll start here at this door. This door is to my bedroom. Little Earthbound perler I made after I beat the game, and some Pikmin ones as well. I love those, they're so stupid looking. We have this little Navi one, which is so cute. It kind of glows, but it's not in the right lighting condition to do so. And then we have a Pac-Man wall plate. I didn't mention we have a Galaga one on the other light for this room, but there's like 2 light switches since it's a big room with 2 entrances, but yeah. Here we have our console shelf. Now, I do have my handhelds on here right now. I do not like that. It's annoying. So, what I think I'm going to do is whenever we put the shelf here, the bottom half of it is going to be a closed cabinet for our art supplies, but then the top will be a glass cabinet for my handheld collection. Hopefully the games will fit there too, but I'm not sure. But I think that'll be a much better way of doing it. Anyway, let's start from the top. We have some Guar plushie up here. I love Guar. It's of course from the Elder Scrolls, this big creeper costume head, which the cardboard part that actually keeps the head in place on your head is like falling in on itself. Little Diva plushie and a Gumi. This is our PS3, a very pretty PSP that needs a battery, and our PSVR, which is literally like shedding its lining, like without you even touching it. It makes such a mess, I don't understand. We don't use it very much, alas. And then here are a few of my handhelds, which are covering our beautiful Destiny PS4. Which is unfortunate, and another reason I would like these to have their own shelf, but for now, they are here. But yeah, that's the PS4 I was talking about, and then we have our Oculus right here. It's nice to have a spot finally for it to be out and charged, because now, at least I'm not big into VR, it makes me very queasy. But now it's easier for Ryder to use, at least. Oh, and these are all, except the PSVR, most of these consoles are plugged in. This one is, yeah, you know, they're glowing. That one is. This one is not. My poor original 360. It is the white 360 and it does still kind of work. Never got the red ring, knock on wood, but the disk drive is very lazy. It gets stuck, it doesn't want to open half the time. You kind of have to pry it, so it does not really ever get used anymore. We have our collection of DS's. These are 3DS's, those are DS Lites. My 3DS XL, my beloved one, is up here. Look how pretty. I show that console off every chance I get. Our Series X here, which I wish I would have bought a PS5 over this. I bought it when I was doing my Elder Scrolls Let's Play channel, and I figured Elder Scrolls 6 would be out someday, and it'd be nice to have a Series X to record it on. What an idiot, am I right? We have some of our currently playing games out on this shelf just to kind of make it easier to put them up when we're done. So right now, Ryder is playing through God of War Ragnarok. I am watching him. It's just incredible. And then down here, we have my Switch 2. You will notice my Switch isn't here. Also, usually that wire's hidden by the Joy-Cons, but I had Air Riders kind of looping. Which, huge shout out to Kirby Air Riders for bringing back like the idle screens. I feel like I haven't seen one in a while, at least not one this good. Maybe I just haven't paid attention, but my regular Switch, I have 2 of them. One of them I brought to my parents' house so that I could use it and my dad could play Dr. Mario. But my OLED is actually in our living room now because we finally got a TV in there. And I wanted to be able to play Animal Crossing by our fireplace. I don't like not having a Switch 1 dock in here because I do still use my Switch 1 for like space purposes, and I don't like any of my consoles to feel obsolete. Well, I don't know, I might steal the Switch 1 back from my parents, who knows? It is mine, but yeah. I just got Super Mario Party Jamboree as a gift from my parents for Christmas, so we have that out in case we want to play it, and also Kirby Air Riders, because I've been playing so much of that, if that was not obvious. Except being my game of choice on the TV, which let me wake it up so it doesn't go dark. I've really been enjoying the Switch 2 so far, like, I'm having a good time, Down below that, we of course have my Wii U, which has a Luigi gamepad. that I spilt nail polish on almost immediately after getting it. I left some of it on there because it was wiping away the paint. Lovely, I know. And then we have our steelbooks here because I didn't really know what else to do with them. And then down here's my console graveyard. I keep them because ideally someday, which I'm working on it, I have a good tool set now to tinker with these things, but I would love to repair consoles and whatnot, and even do like custom ones. So I've kept them in case I ever want to tinker with them and try to revive them. Then over here we of course have our main TV setup. Got a couple of little glam rings on either side of it. I want to put a shelf up here too. Nice to finally have it mounted and up a little higher. It used to be so low. The wires are hidden, everything. It just looks so much cleaner than it did before. And then on the entertainment center, we have this little Pac-Man arcade machine, which does work. My little Triforce, my Wii U sensor bar is kind of disguised there as well, and just a couple of figurines. The Shy Guy and the Boo light up, but I don't have batteries in them, and maybe I should. Down here is where we store all of our controllers and whatnot. And then under these candles are my Zelda books, which are so pretty. I'd show you the cover, but there's fire on them. I've never had any issues with candles leaving little marks on them. I leave lids under it and it's been fine, so don't yell at me. Here we have my Pikmin 1 guide poster that I'm finally getting to show you at nighttime, so it's not as reflective, though you can still see reflections in it. But yeah, I was super happy to get that. This little dangly Zelda perler, just so pretty. I need to get a screen on this window so I can open it on the nice days and let it flow. A couple of Kirby perlers. And then down here we have my CRT, which is currently playing Princess Mononoke, which is like my favorite movie in the world. I'm so glad to finally have it, though it was definitely not made for 4x3. Maybe I could have changed that in the settings, but it didn't mess with it. Anyway, we have my blue party hat on top and a couple of Pokemon plushies, as well as some little Pac-Man. I know the screeching's probably bad for people that, for one, can still hear it pretty loudly. I kind of can, but also I feel like some speakers are really sensitive to it, but that's how I cull out the weak viewership, you know what I mean? If you cannot deal with the CRT screeching, you do not belong here. Anyway, I also have some stickers around it. I never got Fuecoco sticker, that is so sad. And then some Elder Scrolls ones right here, as well as my collection of VHS, and you will see it's like too wide. I don't really know how I want to store these, because I feel like they should be here since that's where the VCR is. But this is also inconvenient. It looks cute though, like that looks so cozy. Anyway, maybe someday I'll do something different, but down here we have some of my retro consoles. Unfortunately, the NES, like how it plugs in, it kind of has it awkward. I might move the NES and SNES into my PC room because I have a little CRT in there as well. And I need to set the Wii back up, but for one, I only have one sensor bar and I decided to put it on my Wii U for some reason. I need to get another sensor bar, but also it's just, it was beside the TV until I put the VHS there. I don't know. I need to mess with this part still, but yeah. This cabinet hides the extension cord for everything here, and I painted the little Morrowind logo, but all Galaxy-esque on it forever ago. Then moving on to this wall, we have my halberd up here, which was my 16th birthday present from my parents, which I don't know why that cracks me up, but it does. I loved it so much, I still do. And then we have, I think these are from Burger King, these little like 3D Pokemon cards. Those are also from my childhood. We have, I mean, my window gets really reflective. Hopefully I won't dox myself with this. We have this little like present. I mean, this leads to my backyard anyway, but still. I painted a little Animal Crossing present and stuck it to the window because I saw the Nintendo Museum had that. I just thought it was so cute. Couple little figurines here, and these are meant to be coasters. But I figured, like with my Luigi coasters that I have over there, if you actually put anything wet on them, they will warp and look weird, so I have them as wall art instead. And then here, we have my ever-growing pile of Pokemon Squishmallow and my ginormous Boo beanbag, which is one of my favorite things I own. They will just not stop releasing these. There's about to be 2 more. I am running out of space in this corner. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I told myself I would collect one of each Pokemon. I'm not getting the Pikachu duplicates or whatever. They used to all be on my bed, but I mean, can you imagine putting these on your bed every morning? no thanks. So, yeah, they may move eventually, but I really like them here. It's really cute. Then beside that, which is like a little awkward, but it's also like super cozy when you're sitting on the couch at night, I have both of our arcade 1-up machines. Pac-Man and Galaga being a frequent theme throughout this room as our 2 favorite arcade games. Also, the little Mario and Luigi hat on top is so cute, and some thrillers, of course. But, yeah, whenever I was makeovering this game room, I did not have the Galaga machine. I'd been hunting for it for, like, 7 years, and just could not find one. At least not one that was in good condition for a good price, and was also near me, you know, stuff like that. But, I had legitimately planned to put the Pac-Man machine in our dining room, because we're gonna go with an arcade kind of theme in there anyway, and let's be real, for most of the house. Yes, this might be, along with our PC room, the most extreme room, but they're all kind of like this. But yeah, I was literally gonna put it in there, and then when a Galaga machine popped up, and my dad was super nice and got it for me, and I'm so appreciative. I had no idea where to put them. I just kind of shoved them over here, and I actually, like, really love it. It's so cozy. I'm not a minimalist, obviously. I like anywhere I look to see something fun and that I love. And having these, like, in your peripherals? I always get peripherals and peripherals messed up, and I may have done that in the PC room too, or who knows, but I don't know. It's just nice. It's just nice. With the Galaxy projector on, oh, magical. Also, I realized I should probably mention the weird psycho mask on this porch light, which for whatever reason is on the inside. Why is it here? I don't know. We don't have a back porch light. It's inside. Who did this? I don't need it. There's a lamp there. Anyhow, last but not least, let's make sure I don't trip and fall into a candle. We have our couch, which, like I said, does pull out and kind of becomes a very long couch or like a bed, which I love so much. I sploot out. Like, I can hardly stand to be in my PC room chair because I can't, like, just melt in it as well as I can on this couch. So having one like this is perfect and has been so good for my back. Keeps me from sitting all weird, though I guess still kind of slouchy. Anyway, just have a couple of plushes we're using as pillows. Well, I guess that one is a pillow, but... And then a very snagged Pac-Man blanket. As well as I didn't really mention the Hermaeus Mora blanket that we have on the corner, but it's really cool, and Doot is trying her best to snag it, and it makes me angry. But what am I gonna do? She's just making biscuits, you know? I try to give her the backside of it, but it happens. But yeah, this one's completely... At least it's not the couch, right? Little Amogus, and then I said there'd be more RuneScape stuff. I mean, there is the party hat, but... Our coasters, our runes, I didn't mention- ooh, that was a bad sound. I don't know if you heard that. My claw hit it. I did not appreciate it. There's more rune coasters over here. It's also already cat hair, I swear, I just cleaned. This end table is meant to be in our living room. It kind of fits that furniture set more. I have one I have in mind in here. It's not even that expensive. I just haven't gotten around to getting it yet. You know how it is. Especially when you get a house. Oh my god. The never-ending to-do list of stuff to buy. But... I was so sick of that ugly stool being in here from the last video that I just brought this in here. It's fine, it gets used more in here anyway. And it's pretty. But hopefully soon it'll be back where it belongs. But anyways, guys, that is 2026's PC room tour. I am so happy with how this room is coming along. Like, of course there's still some projects to do, but it is so much better than it was. Oh wait, before I ended though, I said I'd talk about how cozy it is just to sit here with- oh my gosh, I gotta show you. Of course it's hard to capture completely on camera, but like, you get what I mean? Like, it is just so freaking cozy just sitting here. And usually I'm like laying down and everything too. It's great.